this will be the battlefield that we're playing on today. It is a 6x4 board, and it is actually a gaming mat. Those of you that obviously know, it's going to be mouse mat material, and it is from a website called gamemats.eu. They do a number of boards and a number of mats and things, all come in a nice bag. Quite reasonably priced. I believe they do scenery and stuff as well. So yeah, so go and check them out. So the battlefield that we're on today is a barren wasteland that has been previously occupied by an Imperial force. There's lots of Imperial crates and barrels and things on the battlefield already. It is scenery that I literally finished about 3 weeks before 8th edition dropped. So yeah, so I hope you like it. Comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, so we're going to see who it is that steals the day. There's obviously no Imperial forces left on this barren waste planet. The Drakari and the Eldari are currently fighting over its position. For what reasons, nobody will know. But who will be victorious, we'll have to wait and see. Right, this is my 2,000 points Dark Eldar or Drakari army. It's roughly about 1998, I think, in point wise. It seems to be quite hard to get 2,000 points these days. So we'll quickly run down and see what we've got. Okay, first of all we have a battalion detachment, so this is an extra 3 command points. We've got a homunculus armed with an electro whip, and I think he's just got a standard splinter pistol as well for him. Oh no, he's not. Sorry, he's got a hex rifle, I do believe, actually. That's 1 HQ. And for my second HQ, I've got a succubus, and she is armed with a glaive, and that is her stock. I've not done combat drugs yet. We'll get to them in a bit. Behind her, we have. Go this side first. We have 9 witches, and one is a Hecatrix, and she is armed with a agonizer. They are in a raider. The raider has a dark lance and a shock prow. And again, we have exactly the same again, but it's a unit of 10. Hecatrix agonizer in a raider with dark lance and shock prow again. And then my third troop, sorry, is 5 Carbonite warriors with a blaster, a Cyberite, and they are in a venom. The venom is armed with 2 splinter cannons. And I have a fourth troop's choice, and they're exactly the same as the other unit of Carbonite warriors. So 5 Carbonite warriors, blaster in a venom with twin splinter cannon. And behind them, we have 2 units of 5 mandrakes. I think I might take it as a unit of 10 actually, because I've got enough choices. So we'll have a unit of 10 mandrakes. Something that a lot of people haven't really seen. Because in the previous edition they weren't particularly very good, but in this edition, from what I've read on paper and stuff, that they're actually really quite tasty. So I'm going to go for a unit of 10 of them, and then I have something else that you didn't really used to see much in 7th edition. Got a unit of Hellions. There is I'm going to get the name wrong, pit fighter, but basically the guy that's in charge, and he's armed with a agonizer. So I've got a unit of 10 of them. Then I've got 6 bikes with a arena champion, and he is armed with a agonizer. There is also 2. It's either cluster caltrops or the other one. Can't remember what it's called. Either way, they've got 2 of them. Then at the back, I've got 2 flyers, and they're just razor wing jet fighters, both armed with the razor wing missiles, splinter cannon each, and they're both armed with dart lances. And then for a HQ, I've gone for a Ravager, and he is armed with 3 dart lances, and that is my 1,998 point army. Yep, so that's my roughly 2,000 points Dark Eldar. I have played a lot of not a lot of games. I've played about 6 games now of 8th edition. So what I'm using today is things that I haven't quite used yet, or not used a great deal of. I haven't used any of the witches, not used a succubus. Basically, I've not used anything witch cult wise yet. Not used a razor wings before. I've used the mandrakes a couple of times, and the Carbonite warriors were a steady choice in the previous list. So I don't really know what to watch out for, really. I mean, the mandrakes will be my choice to watch out for, because I know they do quite well. So yeah, so I might get some rules wrong. If I do, please comment and let us know that what we're getting wrong, just so we can get it right next time. Exactly the same for Aiden's army with his Eldar, or Eldari, whatever they're going to be called now. So yeah, so we can get all the rules right for next time we play. This is a new edition. We are going to get rules wrong, so I can only apologise now. But if we get it right now, we'll get it right in the future. So that's it for the Dark Eldar, and we'll come back. Right, this is Aiden's roughly 2,000 point army. Like I said in my army list, it's quite awkward to get 2,000 points these days. It's near as damn it nowadays. So we'll quickly run through and see what he's got. So we're quickly going to run through Aiden's first detachment, which is Battalion Detachment, and we'll go through his HQ section first.
Okay, the HQ section, I've got one Farseer and one Warlock to represent that. Come as standard, and I've still not selected their psychic powers yet, so we'll get to that shortly. And then the troops choices, there's 2 units of 5 Dire Avengers and a unit of Guardians with a heavy weapon platform.
And then for Aiden's second detachment, he's gone for we think it's called a Vanguard Strike. Can't quite remember that looking at the book, but it's one where you get 3 elites. So Aiden, you want to kick us off with your HQ?
Yeah, the HQ again, I've got another Warlock, again comes as standard. And then for the 3 elites, I've got a unit of Fire Dragons with a Fire Pike Exarch, a unit of Striking Scorpions again with the Exarch, and then a unit of the new unit of Howling Banshees again with an Exarch. New unit today, so hopefully they're going to play well for me.
Well, hopefully they're not, but I'm sure they will do. They look quite tasty in the new edition. So what have you got left for your army choice, Aiden?
Left in army, 1 fast attack, and in that it's my Warp Spy. There's no Exarch upgrade there. The unit of 5 Wraith Guard, and they come with Wraith Cannons. And then I've got 3 dedicated transports, all Wave Serpents with Bright Lancers, and just the basic Shuriken catapults underneath, and then 2 Fire Prisms in the heavy slots.
And that will be Aiden's roughly 2,000 point army.
It's over, I'm cheating.
Oh, it's just over.
I did tell you.
Shame. We have quickly gone through and seen what the power level is of each army. Managed to tot up Aiden's power level for his army, and his army came to 112, and my army came to 99. So that just gives you a little insight to show you the difference between power levels and actual match play. We have got the open war mission cards, so we're definitely going to be drawing the objective, deployment and twist cards, but me and Aiden are going to have a little chat, see about if we're going to use the ruse cards or not. So we'll have a quick chat and then we'll come back.
And the only reason why my power points are a lot higher is due to the fact that I've gone over the squads of 5. They're not quite squads of 10, but you still have to pay the command points for going over 5. So even if I went up to 10, it'd still be the same as what it is, even though there is no unit of 10 there. But just to let you know, that's why it's gone higher.
Yeah, well pointed out there, Aiden. Yeah, like Aiden says, you have your standard power level for 5 models, and then you have an increase in power level points for up to, I think it's depending on what it is, like an extra 5 models would be plus whatever points, but it doesn't give you the option to add power level for single models. It gives you in bulk. So if you want to have 7 Banshees in a unit, it has to be plus 5, I think it's plus 5, I think, power level points. It's not like plus 2. So if you're doing power level games, it's always beneficial to max out your squads to what it is in their actual index. So yeah, so we're going to have a quick chat, see whether they're going to use the ruse cards or not, and we'll quickly come to the twist, deployment and objective cards. Okay, so we've just had a little chat and we decided that we're going to dice off. I'm going to let Aiden dice it off to see whether I can use the ruse cards or not. On a 4, 5 or 6 I'll be able to use them. On a 1 to 3 I won't. What's that? 5? 5. So I'll be able to use the ruse cards. All I'll do is I'll take one off the top. I have shuffled them all. Aiden, if you want to come around here and you want to choose the cards. No, it's only fair. So we have got drawn and quartered. We'll have a look at that in a minute, see what that does. And then for deployment, wow, literally right up to the centre of the board there. so yeah, it's going to be quite a bloodthirsty game, this one. And for twist, we've got many paths of victory. So we're going to quickly read these to see what we get. Right, so we've deployed our forces. I have been given this side of the board. Aidan chose to have this side of the board. So we'll just quickly go over. We've got a Wave Serpent with Fire Dragons.
Fire Dragons and a Warlock.
Warlock in this one. We've got 2 units of Dire Rangers here. We've got the Fire Prism there. We've got Guardian Defenders with Bright Lance in the barbed wire. We've decided that obviously if we can draw an imaginary line around that, that is classed as cover, so they're going to get +1 to their armor save.
They're all hiding behind the barrels, and
it's a shame the barrels don't explode, really. We've got another Wave Serpent there, which has got
Wraith Guard and Farseer.
Wraith Guard Farseer. We have the spiders on that side. We've basically said as well that if they can physically fit on the base of the scenery, they're classed as having cover. As the rules are worded, if they're physically on or in the cover infantry models, they gain class as having it, so they can have their +1 armor save. The Wave Serpent on the edge there has got the Banshees and an additional Warlock in it, and at the back we've got the other Fire Prism.
Fire Prism. And just to let you know, so I'm not cheating, because most transports only hold 10, Wave Serpents hold 12. They're classed as 2 models each, and the Farseer, so we're good.
Yeah, so we're all gravy on that front. Aidan also has got his Scorpions in reserve, or the Shadows, whatever, I can't remember what it's called. Some Eldar trickery. And then for the Dark Eldar, we have my jet bikes here, Razorwing Jet Fighter, 2 Venoms with the Warriors inside, the 2 Raiders, and the Ravager hiding in the back. We have the Hellions and the other Razorwing there. The Succubus is in this one. I have Mandrakes that are lurking. I think they're lurking in the webway or something like that. I can't remember what rule it is they have. Psychic powers, Aidan. What did we get? What did we choose?
We've gone for, on the Farseer, we've gone for Guide and, sorry, bear with me a second.
Fortune, was it?
I believe it's
Guide and...
It's Guide and Fortune.
Guide and Fortune.
And then for both the Warlocks, they've gone for Conceal and Reveal, and then they've gone for Enhance and Drain.
One's gone Conceal and Reveal and Enhance and Drain. Drugs for me, because obviously, according to Mr. Canny, drugs are bad, but in Dark Eldar's case, drugs are good. We've gone for +1 toughness on the jet bikes, making toughness 5. We've gone for +1 attack on the Succubus. Her Warlord trait is giving her +1 attack as well, because I just chose it. The Hellions have got +2 movement. Both units of Witches have got +1 strength. And that's it.
And you did roll for the strength 1, that's why you've got a duplicate.
Yeah, how we've done the wording, as according to Games Workshop, is the wording for drugs is you can roll. Alternatively, you can also choose your drug. So I chose 3 and rolled for 2. If people think otherwise, comment, let us know, just so we can make sure and get it right. Because this is Aidan's first game of 8th, and this is my 5th.
5th or 6th? You did a tournament.
Yeah, well, sort of. It was more like a play and learn kind of tournament. It was a slightly competitive scene, but it wasn't massively competitive. Okay, so that is the armies and the deployment. We know the mission, which is obviously to collect the objective markers, score 1 point at the end of your turn, depending on which ones you hold. Sorry. And I would like to seize the initiative.
You're not doing it.
What will you pay me not to do it?
I won't smash your models.
Alright, okay. No, I'll risk it. He's a big guy, but I'm a bit feisty. Okay, so we're going to try and steal the initiative. No. So Aidan's going to get the first turn, so we'll come back at the end of his movement phase. Okay, so that was a really quick movement phase. I literally just put the camera down and Aidan says, right, that's my movement done. Alright, cheers douche. So Aidan's going to be choosing his psychic powers to cast. I obviously can't stop him from casting because I don't have anything that can stop him. So we shall go on to Aidan's psychic phase. Right, so that is it for the psychic phase. Very quick there. Aidan managed to cast Fortune onto this wave serpent. See, we'll use my finger, that one, and Guide on it as well. He tried to cast Conceal from the Warlock onto it as well, but unfortunately failed. So that is it for Aidan's psychic phase. We're going to move on to Aidan's shooting phase for the Eldari. Okay, so kicking off Aidan's shooting phase, he's going to elect to fire the first fire prism. We'll do them one at a time. He's going to fire into the Ravager. Aidan can literally see the nose, but as worded in the 40k rules, if you can see any part of the model, you can shoot at it, which we've both agreed is a bit naff, bit silly, but as rules are written, you can do. So what is it can do, Aidan?
We are going to use its Lance ability, which is Heavy 1, range 60, strength 12, minus AP 5, d6 wounds.
Okay, and he's not moved, so it's his straight ballistic skill.
Yes.
So he hits.
Just. So 2s to
what strength is it?
12.
Strength 12, toughness 6, yeah, 2s to wound. It's a 3. And then I have an vulnerable save. For, well, what's its AP?
Minus AP 5.
Minus AP 5, okay, so it's literally just going to be my vulnerable save. A 5, it saves. Don't you dare look at me like that, shame on you. It would have only done 2 points of damage. That's a ballistic skill for the next one. So Aidan's going to obviously fire his other one at it, I imagine.
Yeah, firing one at it.
So 3 to hit.
Nope. Whiffs.
Whiffs. So that is the 5 prisms fired, so we'll quickly cut back to see what he shoots at next. Okay, so we've got the Wave Serpent now firing at the front of the Ravager, and the Ravager's going to jink.
You would.
Yeah, he would do if it was.
You don't need to anymore. You just get a 5+ in
it would do if it was 7th edition. So it is twin Bright Lance. Is that right?
Yes,
so 2 shots now.
Both hit.
So 2 threes. Yep.
And then 3s to wound.
Strength 8. So it's now 3s to wound.
Both wound.
2 wounds. And then I have 2 saves.
2 of your new Jinx saves.
2 of my invulnerable saves. They never used to get invulnerable. What they do now, which is always nice. So 5 plus. No, I'm going to use a command point to re-roll 1. So I had 6 to start off with, I'm now down to 5, and I still fail. So Aidan now gets 2d6 damage per hit.
5.
So a 1 and a 4. So I take
I'm going to re-roll the 1.
Okay, he's going to re-roll the 1. So that's one of Aidan's command points gone, so he's now down to 6.
So it's 7 total now.
7 total. So we'll quickly put that down and see how. Okay, so yeah, so just putting damage on there. We're using tokens from the Star Wars Imperial Assault box in case people were wondering. So we've got a token there with 5 and 2 individual tokens for 7, so it's 7 whole points so far. Aidan is going to go for the Bright Lance for the Guardians. So let's go to the Guardians. Not a 1.
Nope, that's whiffed.
So that's happy about that. Aidan's obviously used 1 reroll in his shooting phase, so we cannot reroll that one. Going to go for this Wave Serpent into the Raider as well. Aidan's trying to chase first blood here.
2 hits.
2 hits. And then 3s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
So 5.
So I'm going to get 2 saves. I did have some dice here. I'll put them over here. So 2 5-ups. 1 goes through, 1 doesn't. So Aidan gets d6.
4.
A 4. So which will blow up, I believe, because it has 10 wounds. So we'll quickly come back once we've rolled to see what happens. So we've removed the model, but we've decided to put a nice puff of explosions there. One model did die from the model, from the Raider, being wrecked. Aidan didn't roll a 6 to blow it up, luckily. So that is that one done. So what have we got next, Aidan? Okay, Aidan is going to elect to shoot at the Venom here, so we've got this Wave Serpent. Let's think what it was then. Firing at this Venom. It is -1 to hit because of its Night Shields. So it's 4s. So 1 hit, 1 miss. And it is Strength 8 versus its Toughness of 6, so 3s. 6. And I have a invulnerable save, because all Dark Eldar vehicles get an invulnerable save. No. D6 damage. Off the table doesn't count.
6.
So there's another one that blows up. Aidan roll a dice. On another 6 it will actually explode. Right, we'll work this out and we'll come back. Okay, so that is that venom blown up. Obviously, Aidan rolling a 6 to wound, or 6 for the damage and a 6 for it to explode. Venom here took a mortal wound. Homunculus took a mortal wound. The Succubus took a wound, and the unit of witches has obviously lost an additional model. The unit inside didn't lose any. What is next? So we've done lots of Bright Lances so far. So we've done that Bright Lance, that Bright Lance. We've done them all, I believe.
Everything's shot.
Okay, so we're now into Aidan's charge phase. Would you like to do any charges, Aidan? Aidan's shaking his head here, so that's a no. So the Dark Eldar will get their first turn, hopefully be able to retaliate and come back from this, I say, devastating first blow. We've only lost 2 transport vehicles, so it's not too bad, but it's just them, that extra firepower that's just been lost. So we'll come back at the end of Dark Eldar movement turn 1. Right, so that is it for Dark Eldar, or Drakari should I say, movement phase. Everything has pretty much advanced. There's no point me sitting back because the Eldar have got more Bright Lances than I have Dark Lances. Aidan keeps trying to remind me that it's a fluffy list. Make your own opinion up and leave a comment, see what you think. I think it's an alright list. There's not a great deal of Bright Lances. I've just been really unlucky with my rolls, and Aidan's been quite lucky with his dice rolls, so we'll see how we go. So yeah, literally everything has moved forward. There's no psychic phase for the Dark Eldar, unfortunately. So we'll quickly move on to the shooting phase, and we will very quickly kick off with 2 splinter cannons that are within rapid fire range from the Venom, firing at the Guardians. It's obviously their clearest target, so we're going to roll it here. So that is on. They're on 3s to hit for the Venom. So a few misses there, probably about average. It's not too bad. And then 4s for poison. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 saves in Aidan on the Guardians. Guardians have a 5+ armour save, which is increased by +1 because they are in cover. They have a 4+ armour save.
And we save 2 blues.
So
2 dead.
2 alive. Okay, so I'm now going to do the unit embarked in the Venom. As stated in the rules, you can now split fire with weapons and things. So I'm going to fire 4 splinter rifles into the Guardians. I'm not in rapid fire range for the rifles, so they're just 3s to hit. So 1 miss. And 4s for poison. 3 wounds. So 3 saves again, Aidan, of 4+, please.
1.
So another 1 dead. And then I have a blaster in there, and the blaster will split fire, and the blaster is going to shoot at this Wave Serpent. So there's a normal blaster. He is 3s to hit. He hits. He's strength 8 versus a Wave Serpent's toughness of 7.
Yes.
So he is 3s to wound. He wounds.
What's the minus AP?
It is AP -4.
So no save.
So no save. Has he got a crystal targeting matrix or any upgrades?
No, there's no upgrades.
So it's just D3 damage for this. It's only a blaster, it's not a Dark Lance. 1. So just 1 point of damage on the Wave Serpent. Right, so we did a quick bit of shooting off camera. Just shooting these, what are they called? Ravagers? Ravagers? No? Yeah. Ravager?
You've shot
Jack bike.
Ravagers.
What are they called?
Ravagers.
Are they called Ravager? I thought that's a Ravager.
Oh, Reavers.
Reavers!
Yeah.
There we go.
I'll tell you what you're.
Yeah, you can tell me what it all does. Reaver jet bikes fired into that poison. We actually managed to cause a wound, so we were just discussing that a splinter rifle is just as effective as a blaster. So right now we're going to go for the flyer, and the flyer has a lovely array of weapons. He has a splinter cannon, which I've paid for, which isn't in rapid fire range of anything. So all he's going to do is fire into the Guardians. So I'll quickly roll this here. He gets 1 hit. Oops. Doesn't wound. And then I'm going to go for my 2 Dark Lances, and both of my Dark Lances are going to go into this Wave Serpent.
And wait, before you fire that, what are your missiles doing? You need to declare all.
Oh, okay. The missiles will go for the Wave Fire Prism at the back. So 2 Dark Lances, 1 hit, 1 miss. I want to use. I'm going to use a command point, so that'll take me down to 4, which hits. And then I'm strength 8 versus Aidan's toughness on his
3s.
Wave Serpent of 7, so 3s. So 2 wounds, -4 to your save. So we've got just straight 2d6 damage. So 1 big numbers here.
6.
6. So 6 damage on that. We'll just Aidan will tally that up while I quickly roll some more dice. Okay, the flyer over there is going to fire its splinter cannon into these guardians. So he's got 3 shots. Not particularly very consistent. He's obviously moving too fast to actually shoot anything. Doesn't wound. I should have elected to shoot. Say what I'm going to shoot at, so I'll quickly do that now. It's something to remember now for 7th. He will fire both of his dart lances into that one, that wave serpent,
Yep.
and his rocket into that. I'll do the other rockets into that as well. I completely forgot about his rockets. So we'll do the 2 dart lances into that wave serpent, Aidan.
Sorry, say again.
2 dart lances into this wave serpent.
Yep.
2 and a 1, so they both miss. We'll do the rocket, which is D6 shots into this. So D6 shots, get 6 shots.
Strength profile.
6, so I need to just quickly roll to hit, so we need 3s to hit. It's not bad, actually it's quite bad, it's half really. Strength 7 versus toughness of 7.
4s.
So 4s, no wounds. I'll quickly do the rockets from this one, which I just quickly forgot about, into that same one. D6 shots, 5 shots. 6, 4, 5. Better on the hits. Oops, that one didn't count. Drop dice. We don't do drop dice here. Followed by 4s, 1, and it's -1 to your save.
On what? Sorry.
On this.
We're good.
So we're good. So we'll quickly go on to the dart lance from the raider. Dart lance from that raider into. Let's do it into this one. He is 3s to hit. He hits. Strength 8, toughness 7, 3s to wound. He wounds. D6 wounds. Another 3.
So that'll put him on to 10. I believe that's it.
Okay, we'll have a quick look and then we'll come back. Finally, I've just decided that we're going to fire all 3 dart lances from that Ravager into this wave serpent. We need to make sure it goes because obviously the twin dart lances, twin bright lance, sorry, means it's obviously getting 2 shots. So we're going to try and get rid of it. So it's 3s to hit, 2 hits, and we are 3s to wound, 2 wounds,
And bye bye.
and D6 wounds
Number
unless they're all number 1. I roll
1. Oh.
2. So either way it's going to go, yeah. So it's definitely popped.
Does it explode?
And on a 6 it explodes. No, it doesn't explode. So we'll quickly remove that and then we'll have a quick run down at the end of the phase. Right, so we've just quickly puffed that up and that is it for the shooting phase basically. It's not been too bad. I managed to get rid of one of the vehicles luckily, and then these guys are obviously lying down, taking a little snooze. So yes, that's it for the shooting phase. So we'll come back at the end of movement turn 2 for the Eldar. Right, so that is it for Eldar movement phase turn 2. Eldar in movement phase turn 2. Aidan has deep struck or brought in from the shadows his scorpions. They are 9 inches away from the reavers. But obviously, as per rules written, if you're within 1 inch of an enemy unit, your class has been engaged. So Aidan would only have to roll an 8 to get them into combat.
No. They have to set up more than 9 inches. They are just over 9 inches away, so they still need a 9 inch.
Oh, they still need a 9 inch charge.
Anything
Okay.
that comes in has to get a 9 inch.
Okay, cool. That's well done, Aidan, for spotting that one. Was that on the FAQ?
It's actually written in the rules.
More than 9 inches.
More than 9 inches.
More than 9. Right. Okay. So you have to be 9.1 mil out of range. Cool. Fire Dragon's obviously moving up there. I assume they're going to take pot shots at the flyer. Dire Avengers have moved round. Everything else has stayed where it is. So we're going to come back at the end of Aiden's psychic phase turn 2. Okay, so we've just done the psychic phase. We also just went back and did a little bit of movement. Aiden forgot to move his warp spiders. They warp jumped all the way over to here. He had to use one of his command points because they get 46 move and he rolled quite poorly. He used a command point to reroll one of the ones to get them where he wanted to go. Psychic phase, everything went off. The wave serpent in the middle there has got guide on it, I believe.
Yes, guide.
And then the Wraith Guard have got Fortune and Conceal.
Correct.
And this Warlock cast Drain.
Drain, yeah,
Drain.
Which is -1 to hit in combat.
Yeah, on the jet bike, so -1 to hit in combat. So that's it for Aiden's psychic phase. Obviously I can't deny anything, so we'll go on to Aiden's shooting phase. Okay, so we're going to do one Wave Serpent first in the shooting phase, obviously shooting at the Ravager. Aiden's going to do
Fire
the
Prism.
Fire Prism, sorry, not Wave Serpent. So he's going to go for D3 shots, which is the... What's it called again?
This is the Focus
Focus,
ability,
so 3
that
shots.
is heavy D3, Strength 9,
Yep.
minus AP 4.
So 3s to hit now. So 1 miss, so not too bad. And then he is 3s to wound.
Oh dear.
What is it?
Oh dear.
A double 1. Ooh.
Oh dear.
What about the other Wave Serpent then? What's he going to do? Is it the same or
He'll do his Focus one.
the Lance?
Yeah, he'll do the Lance
He
one.
can do the Lance, so he just gets a 1 shot, needing 3s.
Yes.
5 it hits. 2s because it's strength 12, I believe.
Hit, wound 6.
Wounds and a 6, and then I will try a 5 plus a vulnerable. My rolling for vulnerables haven't been very good today, but they're not too bad at the minute. So yeah, so he passes all of them. We'll probably go on to Aiden's Wave Serpent. Okay, so he's going to go for the far Wave Serpent, firing at the Razor Wing. So 4, yeah, 3s to hit normally, but -1 because I'm a flyer. So I wanted to. You can, don't forget, you can use a command point.
Yes.
4s to hit.
Yes, we'll use that command point then.
So we're down to it still misses, so he's down to 3 now.
3, yep.
And this final one, Wave Serpent.
That Wave Serpent is going to fire at the Ravager.
Okay,
2 hits.
2 hits on this one. Strength 8, so 3s to wound. 2 solid wounds.
2 solid wounds.
So 2 saves. 2d6. Uh-oh, double 1. Do I want to use a command? I'm going to use a command point. I've kind of got to use one really. So I need a 5. No, both go through. This is 2d6 damage. This could be it. A 2 and a 2. So 4 wounds on the Ravager.
I can't roll that either, can I?
No, you've used it. Yeah, you can only use 1 per phase in match play. If you play in open play or narrative, you can use multiple command points per turn, but in match play it's only 1. So he takes 4 wounds. I'll just quickly mark this with a dice for now, and I'll put the wound markers on it shortly. Should we do the Wraith Guard?
No, we're going to use the Bright Lance from the Guardians.
Okay.
It's going to fire through at the Ravager as well.
Bright Lance is going to go for the Ravager as well. He rolls a 1, so that misses.
Wow.
So from a storming start is not too great really on the second turn, but we've got these Wraith Guard here that I'm sure are going to absolutely terrorise this poor little Venom here. So they are 3s to hit, I believe, but -1 because of Night Shields for the Venom.
Okay.
So 2 hits. Oh dear. Strength 10. Yep, they are strength 10. So they are going to be 3s to wound because I'm. Tell a lie. It is 2s to wound because I'm nowhere near my homunculus.
Good job.
Was it 2 hits? So 2 wounds, sorry. So I have 5 plus invulnerable saves. So double 5 here. Oh, 6 and a 4. 1 goes through. I've got 5 wounds left. It's d6 damage. So Aiden, if Aiden rolls a 5 or a 6, it goes pop. Don't kiss that dice. So, serves you right for kissing it. So it's still alive. It's taken another 2 wounds. So it's got 3 wounds left, or 3 hull points left on the Venoms. Okay, so fighting here, yeah, we have the Fire Dragons firing at the Flyer. So there's quite a few shots coming through. It's 3s to hit, -1 for it being a Flyer, so 4s.
Oh, we like.
That's still pretty good. Nothing is within half range, I believe. No, so it's just straight wounds.
5.
So strength 8, toughness 6, so 3s to wound.
3s to wound. Do you get your invulnerable thing on
Yeah,
them?
I'll still get my. You need to roll to wound first.
Okay.
So 3s to wound.
Oh.
So 2 fail, 3 go through. So I need 5s on for the invulnerable saves on these. Save 1, 2 go through, 2d6 damage. I need to get, say, 1 and a 5, so 6 wounds go through. So he's still flying, he's puffing smoke a little bit. So we'll come back, see what else Aiden's got to shoot. Right, so that was it for shooting phase. We've also just rolled up charges quickly. The Striking Scorpions attempted to charge the jet bikes. The jet bikes overwatched, caused 1 hit, but Aiden managed to save it. Aiden's just over 10 inches away, just over, so he needed 11 to roll, but obviously 1 inch away from the enemy, so he needed to roll a 10. He rolled a 6 to start off with, I believe. He rolled a 5 and a 1.
5 and a 1.
5 and a 1. Re-rolled the 1 for a command point, and rolled
flashed over a 6.
Flashed a 6. I think my bum was twitching a little bit there.
I think Matt opened the door and the breeze just blew the dice over.
No, the door's already open, Aiden. The Lord, the good Lord.
The good Lord.
So that is it for Aiden's turn 2. It is now going to be the Drakari turn 2. Power from Pain is on turn 2 is I get to re-roll advances and charges if I do so wish. So we'll come back at the end of my movement phase. Okay, so that is it for Drakari movement turn 1. Everything again has been massively aggressive. The jet bikes have flown right over there. Aiden was trying to use the Scorpions as a screen, but with the Eldar superior movement, oh, Dark Eldar jet bikes, sorry, superior movement, they've literally just whizzed around the corner, staying an inch away from the enemy model. Over here, Razor Wings move forward, Ravagers move forward. The Mandrakes have made an appearance onto the battlefield, right in the back corner here, hopefully cause a bit of trouble down here. Over here, everything else again has moved forward. The Witches have moved forward, clustered together. The Raider with the Witches inside have moved forward. Hopefully the Raider can roll high enough to ram. Do a bit of ramming here in our game here. Aiden likes a bit of ramming, so I'm told. Oosh. Hellions, they've moved forward as well, just sitting on that objective. They've been a bit slow really at the minute, slow moving, but I'm hopefully trying to commit them now. And the other Razor Wing is there. So we'll move on to the Psychic phase, but we won't have one, and we'll move straight on to the Shooting phase turn 2. Okay, so we're in Drakari's Shooting phase turn 2. We've done a lot of the small arms fire. We've managed to cause some wounds on the Dire Avengers. That was from the Venom there. The jet bikes have fired at the Guardians. The Blood Brides there, Elite Choice, the normal Witches fired at them. What are they called? Warp Spiders.
Yes.
The Warp Spiders elected to flicker jump each turn, so needing to roll a 2d6 on a double one, they would lose a model, but Aiden's passed all of them. And I get -1 to hit, so they're quite durable actually, a little bit more durable than me and Aiden thought they would be. Carbolite Warriors, they fired as well into them, done nothing. The Homunculus there fired in the Guardians, killed 1. The Hellions fired at the Wave Serpent at the back there, didn't cause any wounds. And that is it really, so all I've got to do now is I've got both flies to fire. The Raider, the Ravager here, and the Mandrakes. So, quite simple, Aiden. We're going to start off with the Raider there, the one lonely Raider, who's going to fire into the Wave Serpent right in front of him.
Jinking.
He's going to jink, cool. I roll a 2, so he misses. I'm not going to use a command point to reroll that. I might have more important ones to do later. So, let's do this fly here. So this flyer is going to elect to shoot its splinter cannon at the Guardians. So I'm within rapid fire range. So I'll get 3 dice, but rapid fire, so 6 dice. 3's to hit. 4 hits, that's pretty good. And then 4's to wound. 2 wounds. It rolls a 2 and a 1, so 2 down, so there's 2 left. So there's still manning that Bright Lance in there. I'll quickly actually say what's shooting at what first, shall I? The Dark Lances. Both Dark Lances are going to go for that Fire Prism. I always forget what they're called. Because I can see a very small amount of it and the Fire Prism isn't in cover. If it was in cover, it is pretty much 50% obscured. It would get its save, but because it's not in cover, and I can see a fin and the end of its barrel and the back of its engine, its class is still being able to shoot. Something me and Aidan aren't particularly keen on, but as rules written, that is what we're going to do. So both Dark Lancers will fire at that, and its rocket will fire at the fire dragons just behind him. So we'll do the twin Dark Lances, or 2 Dark Lances. Needs 3 to hit. 1 and a 2. I'm not going to command point them. I'm just going to have to accept that was a terrible, terrible roll. And then the missile from its rear end obviously has a missile that pivots out of the way. So the missile is going to fire. It is D6 shots. A 6. I think it's 6 shots. So there's 3, 6. It's 3 to hit. It's not too bad. And it is strength 7. Minus 1 AP. So 2s. So there's 4 wounds for Aidan to take, minus 1 AP. Right. Now 1 isn't completely in cover, so Aidan's going to roll them all separately. So
he's okay.
4 plus, he's fine.
And on him again.
Yeah.
Didn't roll that.
Yeah. Don't do drop dice. 5, he's fine. Another one. Cock dice. He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. And then 1 more. 2 plus armor. 3 plus armor save. Sorry.
Okay.
So he's fine. So that is that flyer completely done. We will then move on to the other flyer, which is that one over there. Now Aidan, if you could be such a gent to measure which is the closest model to my flyer, your HQs or your Wave Serpents?
Well, since the HQ's underneath your wing, I'm going to say HQs.
Okay, so let's go for...
It'll be the Warlock first.
Warlock first. So the Warlock is physically the closest model, so I can't target the Farseer yet. So I'll go for the Splinter Cannon at the Warlock, the missiles at the Guardians, and the Twin Dark Lances at the Wave Serpent behind me.
This one?
Yep. So these at the Warlocks. Warlock, sorry. So 3s. Not a great roll there at all. And then Force of Poison. 2 wounds though.
Is it in cover?
He's in cover, but I think your invulnerable save is better. So 4 plus invulnerable for the Warlock. Oh, makes them both. I was hoping to put him down because he's only got 1 wound left. We'll do the missiles next then, Aidan, into the... So the Splinter Cannons unfortunately whiffed there against the Warlock, so now we're going to do the missiles into the Guardians. And the missiles get D6 shots, 4 shots, 3, that's the noise you make, 3 to hit, 1 hits,
still going to make me mad.
2's to wound, 1 wound, minus 1 save, Aidan.
6.
6, so he's still alive. Okay, then we've got 2 Dark Lances. No, we haven't done the Dark Lances yet.
Dark Lances
into the Fire Prism behind, not Fire Prism, Wave Serpent behind. So he gets 2 shots. 1 hit, 1 miss. Oh, I'm rolling today. It's not been very good. I'm going to keep that 1 hit. Won't really roll any. And 3's to wound. It does wound. D6 wounds. A 1. Takes 1 wound. And then all we have left is the Mandrakes and the Ravager. Right, we're going to do the Ravager next. So it's going to fire all 3 Dark Lances into the Fire Prism. So he's got 3 shots, and we've got some little helpers here. So I'm going to let Alfie, my little lad, roll some here. Do you want to roll them here? Look on the table. Yeah. See if we can kill Aidan's Fire Prism. What was it? So that one. Tell you what, it was a 3. A 2, and reroll 1 because we didn't see what the other one was. Go on then. A 1. So not particularly very good shooting there, Alfie. I'm going to reroll 1. I'm going to use a command point to reroll 1. Okay. A 6. So that one was a hit. That one was a hit that I knocked over. So we've got 2 hits. Strength 8, toughness 7. So 3 to wound. 1 wound. Aidan won't get a save from it, so we'll roll a dice for damage. A 4, so he takes 4 wounds from the Ravager. Okay, so we're going to finally do the Mandrakes. With much deliberation, I'm going to split fire with them. I'm going to have 3 models, 3 Mandrakes fire at the Dire Avengers. Then I'm going to have the other 7 models fire at the fire prism, just to see how effective they can be firing it to vehicles and infantry. So I've already got the dice sorted out here. So they are 3s to hit. Pretty good. So their debut on the channel is not too bad so far. So they've got 5 hits. They are strength 4. Any 6s to wound are an additional wound, which is a mortal wound. So I'm looking for 6s, but they are strength 4 against toughness 3, so it's 3s.
Oh dear.
Oh, well, well, there's 3 6s, so yeah, that's 3 mortal wounds. There's only 2 models in the unit, so that's them gone. And then finally, we've got the other 7 mandrakes firing at the wave serpent, and that accumulates to 14 shots because they are assault 2. And these are 3s to hit as well. Right, just cocked. Okay, it's not too bad.
No.
No, it's not, is it? No. So a nice little helper here today. So it's not bad number of hits there. Now we are strength 4 against the fire prism's toughness of 7. So we're only 5 to wound. Any 6s again are mortal wounds, and it's -1 save as well. So it's not bad. It's not great. Aiden's a bit woe here. So they've got 3 wounds in total. So no, you still get your save. Right, okay, just working it out there. So it's 3, of course, 3 wounds and 2 mortal wounds. So the 2 mortal wounds go through, and the 3 saves at -1.
So that's that then.
So another 1 goes in. So that is it for the Drakari shooting phase, I believe. Everything has fired. It's not been too bad. I did whiff on a lot of shots, and I have used a command point, so I have got 2 left. So we're going to go into the charge phase now. So charges, we're going to have, let's have the jet bikes into the fire dragons, the witches into the witches are going to charge the who do I want to charge? Let's charge the Wraith Guard because I need to tie them up, and the Raider will charge the Wave Servant because I can. Yep. Any other charges? That unit of warriors will charge the spiders. Might as well get them in there. The Raider. Does the Raider want to charge? Let's try and get the Raider to charge, shall we? The Raider's going to charge the spiders, the scorpions, sorry, and the mandrakes. The mandrakes are going to attempt to charge the warlock. Lonely warlock. So we'll do some charges and we'll come back. Okay, so we've moved all our charges in. The mandrakes weren't quite within charge range of the warlock, so we elected to charge the fire prism but failed to charge. The Ravager failed to charge the scorpions, unfortunately, but it happens. Aiden did cause a wound on it from shooting, which is very good. The Carbolight Warriors here successfully charged. They lost a model from Overwatch. The Witches successfully charged. They lost 2 models from Overwatch. Hopefully just trying to tie the Wraith Guard down, really. It's all I can, my best choice, really. The Raider there as well successfully charged the Wave Serpent. So we'll do some combats now, and we'll come back at the end of the combat phase. Okay, so we've quickly done the combats. Nothing massively to report, really. Killed some fire dragons down here. Managed to kill 3 in combat, caused a wound on the Exarch. Aiden elected to take a wound on the Exarch. I managed to kill a Wraith Guard, luckily, but Aiden managed to kill one of my witches, and I caused 1 wound on the Wave Serpent with the Raider. And that is it to report, really. So we're going to go on to movement turn 3 for the Eldar. Okay, so that is it for Eldari movement phase turn 3. Aiden is just responding to the aggressive move of the Drakari. So we've got the Dire Avengers moving forward. The Fire Dragons have jumped out of combat. So the my jet bikes will be able to move off, but I'm sure Aiden's going to shoot at them and charge them. Warp Spiders have jumped out of combat. They they warp jumped last turn, which gave them the fly key rule, so they can move out and still fire, so they're there. The Wraith Guard are still in combat with the Witches, so I managed to keep them locked in combat, which was nice. The was it the Farseer and the Warlock?
Yeah.
Moved out round this corner here, and the Banshees have moved out. We are on turn 3, so the Dark Eldar now reroll 1s to hit. So reroll 1s to hit from shooting and combat, so quite nice. So we'll go into Eldar. We'll come back at the end of the Eldar Farseer turn. It will be the Farseer turn. Eldar turn 3. Okay, so that is the end of Eldar Turn 3 Psychic Phase. We just quickly went back and did a little bit of moving as well, just shuffled things around a bit. Aiden actually totted up his list a little bit, and it was a little bit more overpointed than we originally thought, so we've just amended the list ever so slightly. We think we just took 3 Banshees off. I mean, they've not taken any part in the game anyway, at the minute, so we just took 3 Banshees off. And the Scorpion's Claw on the Scorpions, he's just got normal weapons now. But like I say, they've not taken any part in the game as of yet. So that was a very, very quick amendment that we did. The Banshees have shuffled around as well. Obviously, with their lack of models now, they're not going to charge the Hellions. So they've just quickly shuffled around here. And that is it, really. That's it for the little amendment movement. Oh, the Wave Serpent's obviously shot up as well towards the battle. And the Wraith Guard, there we go, Wraith Guard, I always forget. The Wraith Guard have just pulled out of combat because they can pull out of combat and shoot with their normal ballistic skill. I can't quite remember what the rule's called. And Psychic Phase, the Farseer cast Smite, managed to get 2 wounds on the Flyer, and attempted to cast Guide, was it on something, and failed? I believe.
Guide, no, Guide went off. We cast Smite on this, that went off, and we got 2 wounds. And then on my Warlock, I tried to cast Enhance to give me +1 hit, and failed.
Yeah, and that was it for the Psychic Phase. And Aiden's just quickly showing me now Implacable. Implacable? English is terrible. Implaceable. Yeah, so that's the Wraith Guard special rule, so they can withdraw from combat but still fire their weapons. So they're probably going to be shooting some vehicles and stuff, I'd have thought, having quite a high strength. So that's it for Aiden's Psychic Phase. We'll move on to the shooting phase for the Eldar. We're just in the shooting phase at the minute. Aiden's going to fire the Fire Prism into the Mandrakes. He's at -1 to hit them because of their Night Shroud, and he's taken 7 points of damage, so he's in the first increment of damage now, so that's another -1 to hit, and he's going for the D3 shots, I believe, is it? Or D6?
So 3.
So 3 shots.
5 to hit.
5 to hit now.
1, 2 hits,
2
1
hits.
miss.
That's quite good, quite impressive there. And strength.
It is strength 6.
Strength 6, so he's going to be 2s to wound. So 1 wound.
And it's minus AP3.
It's minus AP3, but it won't affect their vulnerable. So they don't have. I think they have a 7+ save. So just stick with their invulnerable. So their invulnerable's 5+, which is a fail, and they have basically their feel no pain on a 6. No, so it's 1 gone.
Okay,
take another one off.
We'll do the same again with this one.
Same again with that one. That one's going to do D6 shots again.
6.
6 shots this time.
4's to hit this time.
4's to hit, yeah.
Oh dear. 3 hits.
3 hits. 2's to wound.
I'll drop that one. 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Another 2 saves. 2 saves at 5. 1 save, 1 fail. Then I feel no pain. No, another one gone. So Aiden's whittled the mandrakes down slightly. There's 3 of their number gone. It's not. They can still fail on their leadership. So we'll come back after we've decided on what's going to shoot next. Okay, Aiden's elected to do the Wraith Guard next. He's going to split fire with the squad because that's as rules written now. So 3 Wraith Guard are going to fire at the flyer. So he's at -1 to hit because it's hard target. So he's going to be forced to hit. Oh, all miss. You have got 2 rerolls left.
I'll take one of them now then.
So he's going to do 1 reroll. That's a 1. So Aiden's down to 1 reroll left. So unfortunately that reroll didn't pay off. And then he's going to fire 1 blast, 1 into the normal guy, which hits.
It hits.
Now it's strength 10, so it's yeah. So it definitely wounds him, and it's D6 wounds. So we'll roll this because obviously I get to ignore wounds on 6s. But it's D6 wounds, so Aiden's rolled a 4, so I need to roll 4 6s to save him. No, I got 1, which is nice. So there's 1 gone. Yeah, as rules written now, you must roll for damage, and then I get to ignore them on the 6s. People were taking it, as the rules first came out, whereas you could ignore it on a 6, and then obviously the D6 multiplier was after you saved it. It's not, it's actually before it. So that is a Wraith Guard gone. Okay, we've just done 1 Wave Serpent. Not a great deal happening. I'll cover that at the end. And this final Wave Serpent is going to fire its twin Bright Lances into the Ravager over here, and it has moved, so it's going to be forced to hit. 1 hit, 1 miss, and he's strength 8 versus toughness 5, so 3's to wound, 4 is a wound, and I have a 5+ invulnerable save for having a flicker field. No, it goes through. D6 damage. A 5 is enough for it to pop. Does it explode? There's nothing that will be in range of it, but we'll roll it anyway. A 6, it will explode, but nothing's within 6 inches of it. So we'll quickly puff that up. Shuriken Catapult is going to fire at the flyer, so he's -1 to hit because it's a flyer, so 4s. And I am toughness 6, so it's going to be 5s. 1 wound.
And it's -3 to save.
-3 AP, so it doesn't matter, I still get my 5+ vulnerable. And he saves it. So, right, we're finally at the end of the shooting phase. Aiden's literally trying to squeeze every ounce of shooting, and we've seen some horrendous little measurements here. It's like, oh, this tip is touching this tip, which is true as rules written. Something that me and Aiden aren't particularly keen on, but like we say, as rules written. The Mandrakes have managed to lose 3 of their number, so we'll do morale for them at the end of the phase. The Venom here has been popped by a... which one will kill that? A Wraith Guard, was it?
No, the Wraith Guard killed thingy.
Oh yeah.
It was the Bright Lance.
It was the Bright Lance. The Bright Lance from in there killed it. The Wave Serpent here fired...
Whiffed.
Whiffed. It was a Wave Serpent from over there. Fired and killed the Ravager. One of the jet bikes has been killed. Another one's been put onto 1 wound from the Scorpions firing.
Unit of warriors were killed.
Yeah, the unit of warriors that came out of the exploded venom have been killed by concentrated firepower.
1 here.
Yeah, so 1 there. As 1 warrior there has been killed, and 2 witches have been killed. They should be fine on their morale. And we have Aiden's caused a wound on the flyer from a Shuriken Catapult. And other than that, that is it. So we're now going to go into Aiden's assault phase. So what would you like to assault with then, Aiden? Okay, so assaults are all moved in. I'm not going to film these because I think they're going to be quite quick. So we've got the Scorpions assaulting the bikes, Spiders assaulting the warriors, and Banshees assaulting the witches. So we'll come back at the end of the assault phase when we move on to the morale phase. See how we go. Right, that is it for combat phase for the Eldar. It went pretty much how we thought it was going to a certain degree. The Mandy Blasters now are very good on the Striking Scorpions. Obviously, D6 each on a 4+ unit takes a mortal wound. Caused 3 mortal wounds. I failed all of my Fiona Pains. Over here is a bit of a pillow fight. Aidan did cause a couple of wounds, but I managed to save them. I caused a couple of wounds back, but Aidan managed to save them as well. And over here was a surprising one. The Banshees charged in with the power blades, managed to cause 5 wounds, I believe, 5 wounds, and obviously with the Witch's dodge save now being a 4+ invulnerable, I managed to pass 5 4+s, so yeah, very surprised about that. And then attacks back, the normal Witch caused a wound, Aidan elected to take it on the Exarch, and then the Hectrix caused another wound with her Agonizer. And as wound allocation rolls go, you must keep taking wounds on wounded models, so the Exarch was unfortunately slain for Aidan. So that is it for the combat phase. So we'll go into the morale phase. I think the only morale really we have to do, because the Carbolites only lost 1 model in shooting, the Witches lost 2, but they needed to lose 3 to take a morale test. So it is literally the Mandrakes. Now the Mandrakes lost, how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Mandrakes lost 4. Their leadership is 8. So another 1 runs away. So that is it really for the morale phase. So we'll come back at the end of Dark Eldar, or Drukhari, movement turn 3. Okay, so Dark Eldar movement phase turn 3 is complete. The Hellions have left the Succubus and they've jumped over here, so they'll be able to, they're in range of the Striking Scorpions or the Wraith Guard, depending on what happens. Obviously you can now charge something different compared to how it used to be, so you can shoot something and charge something completely different. So they might be charging the Wave Serpent there. Homunculus actually moved in range of the objective for a change. She's still on the objective. The Witches got out the Raider here. Hopefully get a multi-charge, or should be able to get a multi-charge here quite easy really. Flyers are flying around the board. They have to move a minimum of 20 inches for them. The Mandrakes have moved up this side of the board, and the Raider has skirted up close over that far side. And that is it for Dark Eldar movement turn 3. So we'll come back in the shooting phase. Okay, so that is the end of Dark Eldar shooting phase turn 3. Me and Aidan were just discussing it. The small arms fire for the Dark Eldar hasn't done a great deal, but the vehicles have actually done quite well this turn. So we managed to cause 1 wound on the Striking Scorpions from splinter pods from the Hellions. Obviously Scorpions have got 3+ save, 2+ for being in cover, and an additional +1 because they're Scorpions, so they've got 1+ armor save, but nevertheless a 1 is always a fail. Over here managed to cause 1 wound on each Exarch, Aidan electing to take a wound on the Exarchs from the Mandrake, split firing. We killed a Banshee from shooting with pistols. The Witches that aren't engaged shot at the Guardians, managed to cause 2 wounds. I think they killed a Guardian and put a wound on the platform.
Yes.
1 flyer fired its splinter cannons into the Guardians, caused the final wound to kill the platform. Shatterfield missiles on these did nothing. 2 Dark Lances into that fire prism caused 10 wounds in total, so he's on his final increment of damage. That was quite handy there. This flyer, he's a little bit harder to fire with because he's taken 6 wounds. He caused plenty of hits and wounds on these, but Aidan managed to pass all of his cover saves with the Shatterfield missile. The Dark Lancers fired at the Wave Serpent? Wave Serpent over there, yeah, caused 5 wounds, so it was quite lucky. And the Dark Lance from the Raider fired through, killed this one?
Yes.
Yeah. And other than that, that is it really. So we're going to go on to Assault phase next. So Assaults, I can tell you what's going to happen now. The Hellions are going to assault the Wave Serpent. The Mandrakes are going to multi-charge against the Fire Dragons and the Dire Avengers. Dire Avengers obviously being the prime target. Witches are going to assault, or unengaged Witches are going to multi-charge the Wraith Guard and the Lone Guardian, and the Raider will assault the closest unit. Obviously I assume the closest unit will be the Wave Serpent, but being within 1 inch of the other characters will engage all of them anyway. And other than that, that is it for Assault. So we'll get these rolled up and we'll come back at the end of the phase. Okay, so we've done some charges. We are going to cover this one though. So we've got 10 witches into the Wraith Guard and the Guardian. So we're going to do 2 witches into the Guardian. These hit on 3s, but because of Power from Pain, they now hit on 2s. Luckily, so they all hit. And with combat drugs, they are +1 strength, so they're now strength 4. So these wound on 3s. So 3 wounds on the Guardian. And luckily the Guardian hasn't got that good a save, but Aiden's rolling today has been pretty good. So just 1 wound and there's only 1 there.
Yep.
So that's that one done. So next we will go on to the obviously the rest of the models, the rest of the witches attacking the Wraith Guard. So we have quite a number of attacks here. So these are also 2s to hit on the Wraith Guard. Couple of misses there, another 2. That's not too bad. So we've got a number of hits. Luckily, obviously hitting on 2s now from Power from Pain. These are strength 4, but Aiden's toughness is 5, so it is going to be 5s to wound still. So we managed to cause a great deal of 3 wounds. So Aiden takes 2 wounds, and then I've got the Hecatrix. She has 3 attacks. She also hits on 2s. I need to cause a wound. Do I want to reroll 1? I have 1 reroll left. No, we'll save it. We're going to save it. So it's just the 1 hit. 4+ for poison. Doesn't wound. So that is it for that combat. Next we'll go on to the Hellions against the Wave Serpent. Right, so end of Drakari assault phase. We did quite well. Didn't do as well as hoped, but it was better than nothing. The Mandrakes charged in and caused a wound on the or caused a couple of wounds, I think. Killed the Exarch, but the other Fire Dragon passed his armor save. The Dire Avengers managed to kill a couple of them. And the Exarch, obviously Aiden spreading his wounds out there. Caused 1 wound on the, not Farseer, Warlock. Over here I managed to kill the Exarch with a wound. Just move these in for piling moves.
They're okay.
Aiden's just quickly rolling his morale tests. Managed to cause 2 wounds on the Wraith Guard and killed the Guardian. And over here I didn't cause any wounds on the Banshees. Aiden managed to cause 2 wounds in return. Over here I caused 5 wounds. On the 4 wounds, sorry, in total on the Wave Serpent, and I caused a wound on the Farseer over there, who's, I think they're all engaged. So that is it for Eldar Turn 3. I managed to capture 3 objective points. So I've got this one here, 1, 2. And models closest to the objective, I've got it just with having the witches out. I can pile in there. I'll pile in quickly in a minute. And over here as well. I didn't capture this one. So that's it for my turn 3. It's going to be Eldari turn 4. Okay, so Eldar movement complete. The Scorpions have got out of their crater and moved towards the Mandrakes. I think everybody knew that they would. The Warp Spiders have disengaged from combat, used their warp jump to get the fly ability, so they can still shoot. And they have moved over there near the Succubus.
They can't charge or assault.
They can't charge or assault. Yeah, that's fine. Oh no, they can't charge or advance. Yeah, that's it. The Wraith Guard disengaged from combat. I tried to lock them in, but Aiden rolled a 6, and I rolled a 5. If I'd have rolled a 6, Aiden's 6 wouldn't have mattered. And then everything else is disengaged from combat pretty much. So we'll come back at the end of Eldar Psychic Phase. Alright, so that is it for Psychic Phase. The main thing that's happened is the Warlock went poof, and as illustrated there, the puff of smoke is the Warlock that's gone bye-bye. He did roll double 6 on the perils. He would have casted his smite if he hadn't have killed himself. So obviously he died, so the spell automatically fails, and everything within 6 inches takes D3 mortal wounds. Luckily for Aiden, he rolled a 1 for everything. So his Farseer took a single wound, the Wave Serpent and the Raider, they all took 1 wound each. Managed to cast Guide from the Farseer onto the Wave Serpent, so the Wave Serpent is guided. Over here, Aidan attempts to cast Fortune? No?
It gives me +1 to hit and it failed.
Whatever it is, it lets the Warlock choose +1 to hit, and it failed on the Scorpions. So that's it for Psychic Phase turn 4 for the Eldar. We'll go on to their Shooting Phase. Okay, so Shooting Phase done for the Eldar on their turn 4. Quite a positive round, really. The obviously combined firepower over there saw the end of the Succubus. I think everyone knew that she was going to rinse it, really, with all that firepower against her. The Wraith Guard fired at the Flyer, managed to wipe that out just. And the Witches fired their pistols to no effect, I believe. Or did they kill one?
They killed the one that was in combat with, and now they're free to assault.
Ah, yeah, that's it. They killed the one that they were in combat with. That was what it was. And then over there, caused quite a few wounds on that Raider. It's still going, and Ada managed to cause 2 wounds on this Flyer from the pistols from these.
I feel
somehow.
cheese. I feel cheese.
Eldar, still Eldar cheese, and that is it for Eldar turn 4 Shooting Phase. So we'll go into their Assault Phase, and we'll come back at the end of that, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so that is it for Eldar Combat Phase turn 4. It was pretty good in some places, not so great in the others. Over there, the Wave Serpent and Farseer charged in, didn't cause any wounds on the Raider. Over here, the Banshees charged in, caused a wound.
Caused a wound.
Caused a wound.
No, caused 4 wounds.
Oh, caused 4 wounds, and I saved pretty much all of them, but 1 died.
1, yep.
And then in return, the Witches smashed the unit, and they were obviously, when they consolidated into the unit of Wraith Guard. And then over here, this pretty much went down how we were expecting it to go. We've still got 2 Mandrakes left. The Scorpions charged in, Mandy Blasters causing a great deal of wounds, really. I'm really impressed with the Scorpions. I think anyone that is and ahhing about Scorpions, I think they've really shined for you today, I think, so far.
Very well, yeah.
So the Mandy Blasters caused a few wounds. I took models off. As I took them off so they weren't in combat with the Fire Dragon. So I was able to consolidate the unit closer towards the objective marker. It's still obviously have less models, but we'll see how we go. I managed to cause a wound on the Dire Avengers.
You killed a Dire Avenger.
Killed a Dire Avenger in return, and that was it. And other than that, that's it. So we're going to go on to Drukhari turn 4. Now we'll probably just go to skip to the end of the phase and let you know how it went, because there's not a great deal left on the board now. So we'll skip to the end of Drukhari turn 4 and let you know how it went. Okay, so that's the end of Drukhari turn 4. We basically did some shooting. We managed to cause some wounds there on the Wave Serpent with the Flyer that's currently puffing smoke everywhere. The Raider fired, missed everything. These fired into combat, didn't do a great deal. They did manage to kill the Banshees though. The Mandrakes here died from the Mandy Blasters, which happens every turn. I thought it was only on the turn they charge, but it's every turn, which is horrific. So I know who to kill first next game. Over there, the Hellions had to charge in here to hopefully deny Aidan this objective for now. And other than that, that's it. So we'll go on to Eldar turn 5. We'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 5, as there's not a great deal left on the board. Okay, just quickly discussing the game there with Aidan. We're going to call it, I think. So we're going to quickly tot up points. For objective markers, the Eldari have 5, 6, 7, 8 points so far. They would score an additional 1 there, which would make it 9, 1 there, possibly 10, another one there, 11. He had Slay the Warlords for 12.
Linebreaker.
Linebreaker at the minute, yeah. So 13, 14 for First Blood as well. The Dark Eldar had 5, 6, 7 points. Could get that one there for 8. Depending on that one, so maybe just depends really how well the dice go on that one. So that one could really go either way. So yeah,
very close game.
Yeah. Well, not really. It's going to be easily at least 12-7, 12-8. So So that's it really for the end of the game. So yeah, like I said, we're going to call it there. The Dark Eldar can't pull it back anymore really. So Aidan, what do you think of your first game of 8th?
Really enjoyed a lot of things. Still not a massive fan of everything can wound everything, and the measurements from any part of the model, I think that's wrong. But that's me. I still don't think the cover saves are great. I think if you are obscured but not in cover, I think your vehicle should still get it. Again, that's me. Everything else streamlined. The game moves fast. It's quite nice. It is a lot easier to follow. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I'll agree with Aidan on all those points really. Obviously the whole cover thing's a bit rubbish really. The whole, if you're in cover, you know, it signifies them ducking and weaving and things like that. That's fine, but obviously vehicles and stuff, why, you know, they should get a form of cover save surely, but they have to be also 50% obscured. If the scenery on the board doesn't have any form of area effect and they're just actually behind it, if you can see at any point in that model, literally a spike, a turret, a wheel, anything part of that model, you can classically shoot. Now we're not keen on that. We might do some house rules, get some house rules written down, see how they turn out. Yeah, I agree with him as well. The game is a lot quicker. It has taken us 2 days to film because Aidan's had to go and get ready for work and stuff. But yeah, the game is a lot quicker than it once was. Both armies seem to do quite well. I took a witch list. Witch cult lists are quite. They're okay. Witches are a lot better than they used to be, I think. They're not massively powerful, but they've got quite good stopping power now, I think, getting to combat. Hellions, they're okay. They're quick, can cause quite a lot of damage, but they're quite a bit glass hammery. Jet bikes, very pricey for what they are. Probably won't take them again for a while until they get addressed. For the Eldar, me and Aidan were just discussing it again. Banshees, they're okay, but they're low strength, but high AP means they're good at, I suppose they're good at taking out smaller units, but larger units they're going to struggle against. Spiders, which is over here, yeah, they've lost a bit of their oomph as well really these days. Not quite as good as they used to be. Scorpions on the other hand, wow, Scorpions are very, very good. Their Mandy Blasters being able to cause mortal wounds every turn of combat. I think that needs to be addressed really to the turn they charge. I think every round of combat is very, very...
It's always been every round of combat.
Yeah, but mortal wounds now are, you can do nothing against them, whereas at least in the previous edition you could save. So the whole mortal wound thing is very, very powerful. Flies did quite well. I was quite surprised how well the flies were actually. Mandrakes for me are definitely going to be my unit of the game. Obviously they're all dead now, but they, you know, -1 to hit in shooting in combat, causing mortal wounds on 6s, vulnerable saves. You know, 2 attacks each, or 3 attacks each because of their weapon. Yeah, it's definitely my unit of the game. Your unit of the game, Aidan?
Scorpions.
Scorpions, yeah, obviously, really. So that is it for this first edition, the first game of 8th edition on the channel. I hope you all liked it. Obviously me and Aidan are going to get some rules wrong, so please comment and let us know if we got it wrong so we can get it right for next time. So that is it. So thanks for watching guys, and we'll speak to you guys next time. Toodaloo.